WandaVision is a new Marvel miniseries that is streaming on Disney Plus. WandaVision stars Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany, Catherine Hahn, Randall Park, and Tanoia Paris. WandaVision takes place after the events of Avengers Endgame, and this show mainly focuses on the characters of Wanda Maximoff and Vision. In this show, both of them are living in a town called Westview, New Jersey, but they live in a very sitcom-like lifestyle, literally. And as time goes on, they start to realize that not everything is as it seems. So right off the bat, I want to say that this review is going to be spoiler-free. I will do my best to review this show without giving away spoilers or specific plot details that not anyone else knows who hasn't watched the show. Anyway, WandaVision is the first MCU show that we've gotten from Marvel and Disney Plus. Marvel and Disney Plus are planning to release a plethora of Marvel shows, and this is the first of them. So I was excited to watch this show because hearing that they're going to be doing MCU shows is exciting, especially for those who are fans of the MCU. And I have to say, WandaVision is a pretty wild ride, to say the least. WandaVision feels like a fresher breath air from the MCU because it's so different and unique from anything I've seen in the MCU. And beyond the fact that it just feels different and unique, it's consistently entertaining, thrilling, and it's the type of show that you want to see everything all at once because Disney Plus dropped this show weekly as opposed to dropping all 9 episodes of the miniseries at once. And I didn't watch it that way because I was so focused on Batman, the animated series, and Batman Beyond. So what I did was I binged 8 episodes a couple of days before the finale dropped. And I have to say, it's one of those shows that you're not sure where it's headed in the beginning, but you're still entertained and interested. But as it goes on, it just becomes crazy, and you just want to know what's going to happen right away. So the first thing I want to talk about in this review is the cast, because the cast here is incredible. Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff and Scarlet Witch. I've always liked her in the MCU films. She's never been one of my favorite characters, but I thought consistently she's given very good performances in the other MCU films she's been in. In this show, she gives her best performance, not only as a character, but one of her very best performances ever in her career, because this show gives you the opportunity to see her front and center. You understand her more as a character, you learn more about her backstory, you really sympathize with her, and I'm 100% sure that when the show is over, you will see her from a totally different perspective. You will find her a lot more fascinating, and like I said, I won't be giving away too much, but there are moments in this show where you see her past or even what she's going through in the present, and you feel heartbroken for her. Elizabeth Olsen gives so much range in this show, and honestly, I think she should be nominated for an Emmy for this show, especially because of episode 8. I'm not going to give away anything, obviously, but episode 8, she really delivers a powerful performance, and just throughout the show consistently, she's terrific. She gives the best performance in the whole show, in my opinion. I loved her. Paul Bettany, he also gets the opportunity to come back as Vision. And if you've seen Avengers Endgame, I think it's pretty obvious to say that his character in WandaVision is very different than his performance in the other MCU films. But I don't want to say it's for the better, but I definitely didn't mind it at all because you get to see a totally different side of his character. He's funny. He has incredible chemistry with WandaVision. Their romance here is very much the heart of the show because as it goes on, it becomes thrilling and the genres shift really fast when a certain part happens. But their romance, like I said, is very much the heart of the show. What I liked so much about this show, WandaVision, is the fact that I had no idea where it was going to go. I would like to say that the first 2 episodes, they are very sitcom-like. And I know that's been off-putting to some people. The reason why it was never off-putting to me is because, number 1, I like sitcoms. And number 2, since it's the MCU, you know that something shady is going on because no MCU movie or show is going to be just a sitcom. You know there's some shady things going on and that, eventually it'll go into the MCU formula that we all like. But even though it goes to the MCU formula, it doesn't feel cliched. It's still consistently, it feels original and it's exciting, and it's a show that's able to be dramatically effective and action packed and suspenseful. It's a show that has a lot of different genres, where if you see the trailer or a couple of TV spots, you may not think that, but as I stated before, this show is able to incorporate multiple genres successfully, and it's a show, like I said, it's a pretty wild one. So the other supporting actors, we have Kat Dennings, who comes back from the Thor films, and I have to say, I didn't like her in the Thor films. I thought she was annoying, but I thought here she was great. She was funny, and I thought she really fit in well with the setting and just the overall tone of the show. Randall Park as Jimmy Woo, very likable, very funny too. Great character. I wish he had a little more to do, but he was great. And Tanoia Paris, I believe that's how you say her name. If I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sorry. She comes back from Captain Marvel, not the actress, but the character. She's from Captain Marvel, and she comes back here as an adult, and she's great in the show too. She has plenty of stuff to do here, and I really like her character. She's one of my favorite characters in the entire show. This show feels like a Twilight Zone episode mixed with some old classic sitcoms. And as it goes on, it becomes like your typical MCU property. I won't say movie because it's not a movie, it's a show, miniseries rather. But in any case, I like this show a lot. Now, what are my flaws? Well, like most other shows, there are some episodes that are clearly better than others. I want to say that there's not a single episode I disliked here. I either liked or loved every episode in this show. The first two episodes I liked. They were funny, they were entertaining, they were different, but I enjoyed them. But when you compare them to episodes like episode 5 or episode 8, they do admittedly pale in comparison. So in order for me to say that a show is either perfect or phenomenal, a show has to be very consistently on the same level. And just for me, the first few episodes are good, but the show starts getting a lot better as it goes on, which is why I believe this should have been a show that should have been dropped all at once. I understand the technique that studios are doing with their platforms, like dropping the shows weekly, because doing that creates more conversation and gives the show more popularity, as opposed to a show that just drops it all at once. But still, I think if this show had dropped all at once, probably people would have appreciated it more, because I've noticed from my time on Facebook or on Twitter, when I wasn't watching the show, but people were talking about it, it seemed like people were not digging the first couple of episodes, and they seemed to have just gave up on it. And it's a shame, because it's one of those shows where you can't just watch 2 episodes and have a whole opinion on it. Well, you can say that about any show, right? But my point is that if you were to have watched episode 4 or 5, then you probably would have been able to rethink your thoughts on the first 2 episodes, because it all makes sense. As I said before, the first 2 episodes might be off-putting, but as it goes on, for me, it all makes sense. That's all I can say. It's hard to talk about without giving away spoilers. And I just want to say that this show, there's an organization that's heavily focused maybe towards like the middle of the show, definitely in the second half, called SWORD. And I thought the elements with that organization, I just thought it could have been handled better. I didn't find it all that interesting. If I'm being honest, the reason why I found those segments watchable is because of the actors and how likable they made their characters. But other than that, whenever they were on screen, when the scenes with the organization and how everything was, how everything was coming into play in terms of the organization, I basically found myself wanting to go back to either Wanda and Vision, or, what they were dealing with, rather. So other than that, this is a very good show. Hard to talk about without giving away spoilers, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I like to think that people who are watching this video, if you haven't watched it, you either have waited until the whole show is over so you can binge it, or you don't have Disney Plus and you're interested to watch it at some point. What I'm going to tell you guys is that you guys should definitely see it. It's really good. It's also integral. It's crucial, because this is going to lead to the sequel to Doctor Strange. So if you plan on watching Doctor Strange, it would probably be a good idea to watch this miniseries first. It's a very easy binge if you haven't seen it. The longest episode, I think, is 50 minutes long. the other episodes are like 30 or 40 minutes. It's really not that long, and it flies by. I mean, the pacing is great throughout. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, like I said. Very different from anything I've seen in the MCU, but I appreciate it. Appreciate that. You know, the acting is great. It's funny. It's consistently entertaining, and it's action-packed. Really solid show. I can't wait for the next MCU show, which is going to be The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And just so you guys know, I will not be reviewing that show by episodes. Once all that show, once that show drops in its entirety, I'll review it on this channel. So I don't know when it's going to end, but whenever that is, I'll review that. In any case, I'm also going to lead you guys to another person's channel. If you guys want to see spoilers videos for WandaVision, I have a friend named Jason who has his own YouTube channel, and I'll leave the description for his channel down below, as well as his videos about WandaVision. You guys can watch those videos because he's a huge MCU fan, and he does a great job of analyzing MCU films and shows. And I would just say watch his videos if you want to see a spoiler video. I'm not going to make a spoiler review because I have a bunch of other reviews I have planned, and I don't think I have time for a spoiler review anyway. But in any case, very good show, and that's my review of WandaVision. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. And my next review will be for Coming to America. That'll be coming out very soon. So thank you guys again for watching the video. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, share the video. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.